Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Welcome and hello, everybody. This is Andrew David, Blake Newbar's partner program. Today, if you're driving, some of you guys I know are driving, so this part may be a little bit more difficult. And then we also have, sorry, Don, your question threw me off. We'll address that. We'll talk about it here at the very end. We go through things. We look at motivation. We look at discipline. We look at what we need to do to keep ourselves focused. If you can today, I'm going to give you a couple of things to write about. So if you've got a pen and paper, that will come in handy. If you're driving, obviously pay attention to that. You're going to have to come back to it. But the way our thoughts go, the things that we constantly search after are what are often going to lead us down certain pathways, right? We've heard that before. There's a great quote. Well, there's a number of quotes, but really it's essentially, the garden that you nurture, whatever you nurture within your garden is what's going to grow, right? That's what'll lead to either the thorns and the thistles. If you're looking at failure and frustration and depression and, obstacles, then by God, that's what you're going to find. And you can look and look and look and you will find plenty of them. On the other hand, if you are looking for success and you are looking for power and strength and positivity and gratitude and you nurture that, then by and large, that's what you will have more of in your life. And whichever one you search for, you will find the truth of. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go look for the frustrations, then go after it. That's what you'll find. If you want to look on the other side, then that's what you can find as well. See, there's, without getting too far into the story behind Abraham and Esther Hicks, which is an interesting conversation in and of itself. Go study that some on your own, Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks. But a lot of training coming from, I don't even know the proper way to describe those individuals, about affirmations and law of attraction and other things. And there's just an interesting thing that I saw that I kind of wanted to touch on today. So here's what I want you guys to do. We're going to do this a little bit differently. So pen and paper. If you have an opportunity to kind of be at peace, then do. If you can't write it down, then okay. But first thing I want you to do is I want everyone to think of their favorite food, the food that they love the most. What is the thing so I want you to spend the next few seconds, right? So I'm not going to name all sorts of different foods, but I want you to think about maybe that moment that you first had it. Where were you? Or do you get it on a regular basis? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What is the texture? How does it feel when you have it right in front of you? I want you to think about your favorite food. So if you've got a pen or paper, write it down. What is that food? What is it? Is it dessert? Is it savory? What is that favorite food? Okay. We got that. You're imagining that smell and just kind of consuming you. If you come home, if that's going to be on the menu, man, we're going to attack it. We're going to jump into it. Okay. All right. Everybody's got there. So now if I can talk about, for me, sushi is absolutely one of them. I remember the very first time I ate actual sushi. It was a piece of this sushi restaurant called it Tuna Tataki. It was actually a piece of nigiri. Now that I know, I was with my dad. Right. The rice was perfect. It was soaked in whatever. I mean, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic. Tuna had a little bit of a soy ponzu marinade or something, but it melted. And it just opened a whole new world for me. So sushi could be that. A ribeye with the perfect crust, oak grilled. Absolutely. Absolutely on the list. Favorite food. Okay. Next. I want you to think about a moment. I've done extensive trainings on this, but we've talked about your Phoenix moment. So if you want to go back to the YouTube channel and look that up, but I want you to think about a moment that you felt success, that you achieved something, some moment of achievement that was your personal achievement. Okay. So for you parents, I'm not talking about the time that you saw your kid graduate. This is something personal that you achieved, something that you did. Okay? Something that you achieved. Was it, there's a race, graduation, hitting the home run, scoring a winning goal, performing a song, giving a speech, something that you achieved. And I want you to put yourself in that moment. I want you to think about it for a second. What did you feel? What did you think? How long did that stay with you? All right. Everybody got that? Good. Now, I want you to think about the favorite place you've ever visited, whether this is a vacation, it's a journey with the family, maybe it's somewhere nearby that you go to regularly just for a little bit of peace. What is the favorite place that you've ever visited? The beach, the forest, the mountains, whatever. Put yourself there. Close your eyes. Write it down quick. Now close your eyes. Imagine the breeze on your skin, the smell kind of drifting to you. What are the sounds around you? Nature, the city, whatever it is. What does it feel like? Just breathe that into you for a second. All right, everybody got their place? We got Hawaii. Maybe it is Spain. Maybe it's Vienna, Venice. Maybe it's Marco Island here in Florida. Maybe it's the mountains in Colorado, wherever it is. Okay. I want you guys to, later on today, I want you to find some more of these moments, highlights from your life, moments when you really felt something powerful. Michael saying the Phoenix moment, solving your understanding of algebra as a freshman in high school. That moment that it just clicked. There you go. That's pretty cool. And all of you guys hopefully have these moments, right? But it's the positive emotions and the positive hormones that are released into your blood when you kind of experience these things again, right? So the power of the Phoenix moment, I've done this training extensively. Go in and watch it inside the Google Drive doc. I've got a whole training on what it is and how to identify it and how to kind of bring it out. But those snapshots, those moments, right? Putting yourself there. I've had questions recently about motivation, and the reality is, guys, is you're not always going to be motivated. You need to be disciplined. But those moments when the motivation goes, you need to find these moments that we just talked about and kind of reset yourself. So Abraham and Esther Hicks, they talk about this and they call it kind of the 17-second, manifestation, meditation, 17 seconds of thought, uninterrupted, guided towards one of these moments, right? So you can utilize it with maybe one affirmation, thinking of something positive. Maybe it's remembering, one of these positive moments. It could be that favorite food. It could be the favorite location that you have that just brought you joy or peace or a sense of awe. The first time maybe you saw the Grand Canyon or something in Europe that was just spectacular and you saw this and you went, oh my God, like I didn't even know something like this existed. What was that moment for you? If you're feeling depressed, if you're frustrated, guys, sit down and relive some of that. Now, what they talk about is that 17 seconds, this is an opportunity to kind of reset your mind. It allows you to manifest things more clearly, to get into the affirmations, to do all of these things. It allows your brain to focus on something and bring that a little bit more to fruition, right? So we're seeding and planting and then nourishing that garden. Now, they talk about trying to do this for 68 seconds, which is 17 seconds. So like back to back to back doing these four things. Most of us can't think of one thing for 17 seconds in a row anyway. We're all over the place. But I want you to think about how often do you sit and debate the negativity, the losses, the frustrations, the BS that you've already put yourself through. Because I guarantee you've had moments where it's longer than 68 seconds. Because we as people have become incredibly negative. And we do it way more than we should. And what's crazy is we do that over and over for all of these past experiences that were negative or that we've seen other people negative. And now it's all over the news because that's all you get. And so now we're consuming it more and more and more. And so everything that we try now that we start to get excited about our new relationships, our new diet, our new workout regimen, our new business, our new, business relationships, all of these things, instead of coming in and thinking about those Phoenix moments and these powerful opportunities and the best coaching relationships I've had, and how can I make, that coach that I had in Little League or in football or that first business mentor, how can I make that relationship, how can I turn this new one into something like that where I'm going to remember it in 20 years and go, damn it, I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that I spent that time with them. If you're dating, right, you don't sit down at a date and go, you know how crappy my ex was, and just talk about that the entire time and expect that to be a positive relationship. And yet we do the same thing with all of these other things. So if you catch yourself losing motivation, if you catch yourself in kind of layers of negativity, then what you need to stop and do is think about these things for kind of 17 seconds. Pick out affirmations. I pick some of these things just because we should all have some of these positive moments in our life, right? Get back into them, guys. Pay attention to them and understand that there is the reality of not being motivated the entire time. I'll tell you, with all the stuff going on, there's been kind of a 90-day ups and downs and some valleys and not nearly as many peaks as I'd like or as I'm accustomed to, but you got to stay disciplined and you got to work and you get it done anyway. And then when you need the motivation, then you find a little bit of that positivity and you bring it back into your life. So, do a couple minutes of study today. Go look for Abraham Hicks in 17 seconds. We'll talk about that some. Set yourself up to be able to do this in a positive way and then work on things. For those of you guys joining us a little bit late, tomorrow, Darren is going to be hosting the call. I haven't given him a specific topic. I'm going to let him kind of talk about what he wants to talk about. Inevitably, you guys will get into some Q&A. Do yourselves a favor, all of you guys, you're brand new, old, whatever. Ask questions that I always tell you, ask questions that move the needle. Some super basic questions are things that can be answered by support. There's a reason that Blake pays support to do support. Use those people for that, right? You got a link that's not quite working. Send lane isn't connecting right. Hey, I can find a half dozen posts right now in the Facebook group that will address those situations. So read those. Now, if you've done the research, you've searched out everything, legitimately, you can say, look, I looked here, support gave me this answer, ClickFunnels support gave me that answer. Still a little confused? By all means, bring it up. But ask some questions. He just launched a group, right? Darren just launched his own group. Ask him how that's going. Ask him why he did it. Ask him what he's doing with it, right? What are you doing to expand what you're selling and what's going on? He is a partner. He's an affiliate marketer. He's a great dude. So look at all of it. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap up the call and stay on for a minute. We'll answer some Q&A.
Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet.
Appreciate all
Go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are.